So I was looking at the Ableton Push again, and I noticed a step sequencing when you automate steps. That's one thing that you can do, where you jump to an automation. When you hit that step, you jump to an automation. But what I think you really want to do is like take the time of one step, take one step and how long it lasts, which can be long if it's a sample or something. But take one step and record a motion of the knobs or faders. So rather than record a jump, you record the motion of the knob or fader on that step for the length of that step. So you have like a starting point. Basically, you have a starting point that starts at the beginning of the step. Maybe you could even nudge the starting point to before this step, I guess. I don't know if that would do anything. Yeah, that might not do anything, but you have a starting point with the step. And as soon as so you have to be able to hold the step. And I prefer faders. Like if I had a choice, I'd move like 3 or 4 faders or 8 faders. I'd press the step once and move like 8 faders. Exactly, I'd be able to gauge the mode and be able to put both hands on the fader board and have 8 faders. But basically, what you want to do is hold the step and record. Well, I don't. Yeah, maybe if there's another button that you should hit to record, because then you're going to have to jump to the knob, right? Right. So yeah, maybe if you double hit the step, that records it, and you're at the knob. So if you're holding the knob, you're holding the knob, and then you double hit the step, and then it'll time. It'll trigger the step in time with a starting point for you to engage in a motion of a fader or a knob. Like I said, you also want to use faders. So best way is probably to make it like hit a step and then have a record button. And then when you hit the record button, then you can jump to the faders. So you don't even have to hold the step. You press the step, then press the record button and jump to the faders. And maybe you have 2 record buttons, one for step recording and one for real recording. And the step recording can have like 2 modes. The step recording record can have 2 modes, right? So you put it in the second mode, and now you hit it and move the faders. Do your sound design. See, this is the other idea that I had with Push was the faders, was to make each column of pads a fader. They also have vertical measurements on their pads. They measure the vertical for your expression of the pads. So you could even have like a 66% and a 73% and essentially measure your way up the pads and use that as a fader. So that, yeah, exactly. And then you could set your macros, and you set your macros to your faders. And now you have like 8 faders that you can macros where you can use like 4 at once, or you can use 5, 6 at once, right? 8 at once. It'd be pretty good if you could use all 8 at once, but you can jump between 8 or 10, right? If you had 12 there, even though you're only using 4 or 6, those 6 are jumping around between 12 of them, right? So you are using 12. With knobs, you can only use 1 or 2 knobs and then jump around, right? This is why faders is better, I think. Why you need to use faders on your controllers as opposed to knobs. That, and you need to record step time recording or whatever, where you automate for a period of time, not just jump. Like in step recording, you just jump and jump and jump and jump. You want to record a motion. You want to record a filter closing and opening and closing, and start to get like a feel to it, right? Get an expression to it. Yeah, you kind of lose a lot of the expression. You kind of get glitchy and lose the expression a bit if you don't have see, now you can record overtime and just do your movements. But now you have to be pretty good, right? You don't have the steps. You're not jumping from step to step and doing it precisely. Anyway, those are the ideas for Ableton Push.